And thank you very much for joining us. Welcome to this broadcast, our first story at this hour. It is supposed to be the season of joy, a post-pandemic festive season, one that brought people together. Instead, it is the season of a new variant, one that is wreaking havoc across the globe. For the first time since the pandemic began almost 2 years ago, the number of daily new COVID-19 cases crossed 1 million worldwide this week. The pandemic has dampened plans for New Year's Eve celebrations for a second consecutive year as countries imposed restrictions. Numerous nations registered all-time highs in the last 24 hours, including Argentina, Australia, Bolivia, the United States, France, and Italy. In Europe, traditional concerts and fireworks are cancelled in most major cities, including London, Paris, Zurich, Brussels, Warsaw, and Rome. Cancelled bookings in Spain's capital cost the hospitality industry over 350 million euros. That is 3% of the annual revenues. In Italy, restaurant and club owners called for urgent government support, with 25% to 30% of New Year's Eve dinner bookings being cancelled. In Greece, there is a ban on music at all commercial venues, and new restrictions include earlier closing times for restaurants.
Όπως καταλαβαίνετε, όταν συμπτύσσεται το ωράριο, συμπτύσσονται μετά και τα μεροκάματα, τα ημερομήνες, τα μισθή. Ένα μαγαζί συντηρεί οικογένειες, συντηρεί ανθρώπους. Όσο εμείς σαν ιδιοκτήτες να ζητήσουμε υπομονή από το προσωπικό μέχρι να ανέβει η δουλειά παραπάνω, όπως καταλαβαίνετε ότι με υπομονή δεν πληρώνονται ενοίκια και δεν ζουν οικογένειες.
In Paris, wearing masks outdoors is compulsory once more. France is mulling a €50,000 fine for companies for not following work from home guidelines. Nightclubs have also been closed until well into January next year. In Spain, public festivities have been cancelled across most regions, except Madrid, where stripped-down gathering is scheduled. Meanwhile, in Barcelona, hundreds of people took to the streets to protest against the COVID restrictions. New cases have hit an all-time high in Spain, with over 161,000 new infections reported. Meanwhile, frustrated Dutch citizens who have been under strict COVID lockdown for most of December have chosen to flee to Belgium, despite appeals from the government not to head across the border. The Netherlands has closed all non-essential shops, restaurants, bars, cinemas, museums, and theatres until January 14th next year, in a bid to curb infections fueled by the Omicron variant.
To be fair, we just wanted to escape the lockdown, yes. Well, everything's closed, so we actually have nothing to do and it's our holiday. So we thought maybe for some fun we'll come to Belgium.
In the Chinese city of Xi'an, residents are running out of food. Citizens say they are struggling to find enough food, despite Beijing insisting that there is adequate supplies. Xi'an is a city of 13 million people in central China. It has been in lockdown since last week in an effort to stamp out an increase in coronavirus infections. In Indonesia's resort island of Bali, foreign tourists have been warned by the authorities they may be deported if they are caught violating rules during New Year celebrations. Mexico City has also cancelled its massive New Year's Eve celebrations as a preventative measure after a rise in COVID-19 infections. Excuse me for that. In Saudi Arabia, authorities reimposed social distancing measures at the Grand Mosque in the holy city of Mecca. This comes after the kingdom recorded the highest number of infections in months. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.